Welcome to the Dave Cave. I, as always, am Dave, and today we're going to be talking the movie that gave us much more of the night he came home, and that is the original Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is directed by Rick Rosenthal, stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasence, both reprising their roles from the original. And the movie picks up actually during Halloween 1, that whole finale goes off, and then after all that craziness, Laurie Strode is moved to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and once she's moved there, Michael actually learns that she's there, continues her pursuit of her, and leaves all kinds of bodies in his wake. What this movie gives us, though, is the reason for that pursuit, the reason he's always constantly going after her, and that is the fact that they are brother and sister. It's a plot twist that really provided the backbone for the rest of the Halloween series, even Rob Zombie's reboots. Now, as I mentioned in my review for the original, I like to watch the original and this movie back to back. They really blend together very well. And I like this movie almost as much as I like the original. And with that, let's get right into the good. I'm going to be a little bit of a broken record here because, again, I love the intro of this movie. I like that it blends the first one with the second one completely seamlessly. We get the confirmation that Loomis has hit Michael. Michael is bleeding. There's blood in the grass. You get a little, you don't know what death is, to show you that, yeah, Loomis is going to be just as intense in this one. And then you get the pumpkin scene, the pumpkin intro credits, that for me are better in every way, shape, or form. I absolutely love the Halloween 2 theme. I think the pumpkin looks better. The addition of the skull adds a little bit extra oomph to it all. Great, perfect intro. And then it goes from there. And the movie just picks up, and it doesn't feel choppy in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't feel like you just spent 3 years waiting from 78 to 81. The next thing I want to talk about Halloween 2 is the fact that it feels familiar. It feels like you're still in the Halloween world that was built in 1978. But at the same time, pretty much everything is ramped up. Michael's more intense, the kills are more intense, the body count's bigger, Loomis is crazier, and the music is amped up. It takes all the themes from the first one and gives this kind of synthy, mystical overtone to it that does nothing but add to extra tension. For me, the music in this one is actually better than the music in the original. And in terms of what a sequel is supposed to do, a sequel is supposed to take what you know and go extra hard with it. And this movie does, but it doesn't go too crazy. There are a couple of moments where you're like, yeah, right. But when it's all said and done, it still feels good. It still works. It's still very much, like they say, more of the night he came home. The last thing that I want to talk about, it's something that I've grown to like in my more recent watches of Halloween 2, and that's the fact that this movie has a lot of little touches that lend to the realism of the overall world. You have the hospital trying to get a hold of Laurie's parents, which makes perfect sense. They could gloss over that. They could have completely focused on Michael trying to get to Laurie, and completely put on blinders. But they didn't. I like the fact that they, like I said, like they were trying to get a hold of Laurie's parents. And that you have Michael's breakout and you have the crime that happened in the Wallace house. That's all over the news. It's all over the radio. Everybody is freaking out across the town. I love that. It adds to everything that's going on. And with that extra tension, you get this nice little scene, which I like because this is exactly what actually would happen. The mob outside the Myers house. They're throwing shit through the windows. They're pissed. They don't have Michael to really kill him or do anything to him. So they're taking it out in the house that's been abandoned for years, that he grew up in, that he killed his sister in, because they're pissed at him and they don't have an outlet. It's their version of a riot. That feels very natural to me. This whole movie feels like a very good natural progression of everything that happened in 1978. But while it is a very faithful sequel and serves very well as a follow-up to the 1978 original, Halloween 2 does have a fair shake of problems. So let's get right into the bad. The first thing I don't like about Halloween 2 is Laurie's dream sequence about Michael. Now, we get Marion and Loomis in the car on the way out of Haddonfield, and Marion drops this whole knowledge bomb on Loomis that they're brother and sister, and that their parents died and Laurie was adopted by the Strode family. But in that, what we find out is that when she was adopted, she was 4. she was 2 when Michael killed Judith. 1, she wouldn't remember that. She would not remember Michael at all. She was 4. If they didn't mention him ever again, she wouldn't remember. And 2, the Strodes in no fucking way would take Laurie to go see Michael. Michael might remember because he was 6. Yeah, he had a sister. He was 8 when, his parents died. He would remember having a sister. But there's no way the Strodes would have taken Laurie to go see her fucking psychotic brother. It just wouldn't happen. All it does is convolute the story of brother and sister. You didn't need to add that dream sequence. Laurie didn't need to know that they were brother and sister. Just have that be a Loomis moment and then, deal with that later in the later entries, which they do. But no, it's not good. The next thing I don't like about Halloween 2 is the whole elementary school Sam Hain moment. Now I understand that it's cool and it adds a little bit more of like Celtic background, which they do lean into in 4, 5, and 6. But Celtic background behind Halloween and, that it's the end of summer and October 31st and ooh, Halloween. But that doesn't do anything to add to the story. Like, why did Michael go to this random ass elementary school? We don't get any backstory on that. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little moment. He, stabs this random picture that some kid colored. Did he color it? Did some random kid color it? Doesn't make sense. It is a cool little touch. If you're paying attention, it's the knife he took from the Elrod house. I dug that. But the rest of the scene, it's just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. And yeah, if you can explain to me, please, in the comments below, explain to me why he went to the elementary school. Why they said. Have they ever said? I don't think they've ever said. But if they've said, hit the comments below and correct me. Please. The last thing that I don't like about Halloween 2 is the finale. Now, I don't know where Loomis got 2 guns. He doesn't in any way, shape, or form go up to the deputy, so he didn't get his gun. And up until this point, Loomis didn't have another gun. He only had one. He shot Michael and he kept refilling the gun. We've only ever seen him with one gun. And then all of a sudden he's like, here, Laurie, take this gun. Which, conceptually, cool. Laurie shoots him in the face a couple times. But that's also one of my problems with the finale, too. She shoots him in the eyes. Leads to a cool moment. Conceptually, cool moment. But if Laurie shot Michael in the eyes, she would have blown his fucking brains out. He would be dead as shit. I understand it's a whole, he's a force of nature kind of thing, but he's bleeding. Like, he's affected by it. His eyesight is gone because of that. He's had physical damage because of these bullets. Those bullets would have gone straight into his brain and fucking killed him. He would be dead. End credits right there. Like I said, conceptually it's a cool idea. If they had figured out some kind of way to blind Michael and have him swiping around and all that shit and Loomis sacrifice himself to kill Michael and all that, I'd get down on that. But to have Laurie Strode practically point blank shoot him in the face twice, he would be dead as shit. Dead as shit, on the ground, brains everywhere. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Every problem I have with this movie is when it doesn't make sense. And now we're going to get back to something that I actually really like about this movie, and that is the blood, the guts, the syringes, the ugly. As I mentioned earlier, in every way, shape, or form, the kills in this movie are amped up from the original. The original just has stabbings and strangulations. This one has all kinds of shit, and most of them are actually hospital themes. You get a syringe to the eye, a syringe to the temple, a scalpel to the spine. You get some bloodletting, which is a very weird twist, but also kind of badass. I dig the simplicity, but the like, ooh, that's a slow burn. Damn, Michael. But really what the kills do in this movie is amp up the contention that this is a slasher. And from here, they just get crazier. The first ones are very simple. A lot of them are in the dark, but this one is just, it's all about the spectacle of the kill. What different ways can we have Michael Myers kill somebody in a hospital setting? And they're all good. I like all the kills in this movie. Some of them are really super simple and some of them are much more complex, like the Karen kill with drowning her in the hot tub and, like I said, the bloodletting. But neither of those are actually my favorite kill. My award for favorite kill of the movie goes to Nurse Jill. In a state of panic, Jill is searching the whole hospital trying to find somebody, anybody. Everybody's dead at this point. Everybody is dead or knocked out and she is just on her own. She comes across Laurie Strode. Laurie Strode is trying to get away from Michael, or at least be kind of stealthy. Michael comes out, stabs her in the spine with a scalpel, lifts her up off the ground. It's a great visual. Again, it's one of those display of strength kills. Super simple, not gruesome in any way, shape, or form, but it's one of those like, oh, shit. And then it leads into the first chase that we've had since the first one between Michael and Laurie Strode. Sometimes I'm a big fan of splatter. Sometimes I'm a fan of more simple stuff. And now it is time for my final thoughts on the original Halloween 2. Despite the flaws that this movie has, the things that I mentioned in the bad column, because they are kind of big things. Despite all those, I do like this movie a lot. I have a lot of fun with it, and really, in my memory, I think this was the first Halloween I saw. This was the one that I would sneak around corners and watch as my sisters and my brother would watch this movie with their friends. And then finally, I did get to see it and see it in all its awesome glory. But I like this movie. I like it a lot. It is, as I said, a perfect pairing with the first one. And I love the first one. It's a great, put you in the Halloween mood experience across the board. But with how much I enjoy this and the original, I have a confession to make. I've never seen Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I just haven't. I've always been a big fan of Michael Myers, and those have been the ones that I've watched, and that always just gets glossed over for me. So, I'm going to go watch that and get my review ready. The review for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, completely fresh eyes, will be coming out this weekend, so be on the lookout. And while you're waiting, if you haven't already, this is all part of a 31 on 31 ranking review series of craziness with Freddy, Michael, and Jason. Go check out my reviews for Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. There'll be links to that in the description below. And while you're down there, I do have links to my Instagram and Twitter. They're both at @TheDaveCave_. I post over there when I'm not posting here. And that is going to do it for me today. Thank you so much, as always, for stopping by the Dave Cave. I will see y'all for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. But until then, take care.